Hello, welcome to Paleo Greenbird. I'm Greenbird, and today I'm going to do another video about step fractures and hinges for some of the new folks that are doing a lot of internet research or reading or watching videos, and you hear the term hinge and step a lot, and it's kind of important that you understand the difference between the two. I mean, they're both basically short terminations, so they're both situations where your flake did not travel far enough to feather out the flake, but they're caused from two different reasons. And I have another video about this. The reason I'm making this video also is just because I made that video a while back, and I don't think my videos were very good back then, so I'm hoping that this will explain it a little bit more clearly. But I'll go ahead and link to the video, my other video, somewhere in either the description or right up on the screen. So let's start with step fractures. So a step fracture, which is what we have here, and you can see where it gets its name because it actually looks like steps, and that is typically caused by a strike that just doesn't have enough force or momentum behind it. So what happens is the flake starts to travel, it starts to lose force, lose kinetic energy, but not so much that it just abruptly stops, which is what a hinge is. What happens is the kinetic force will stop deep in the stone, still has a little bit more towards the surface, will continue to travel, eventually stop there, and again run out of kinetic energy, and then further up on the stone. When I say further up, I'm talking about closer to the surface. Closer to the surface of the stone, it'll eventually terminate in a hinge-like pattern. Or appear like chatter. So that's what a step fracture is, and it's generally caused by either not hitting your platform low enough. More times than not, it's because you just didn't have enough force behind your swing with your billet, or you're using a too light of a billet. Sometimes if your billet is too small, that will happen. So that's what that is. Understanding what causes a step fracture. It's just the kinetic energy starts to peter out and will terminate first in the deeper part of the stone, and then as it starts to continue closer to the surface, it will eventually terminate as well. On this same stone, we have a good example of a hinge. This is kind of a smooth hinge. Hinges aren't usually quite this smooth. You can see on this side here it's pretty smooth. But anyway, what most likely happened here is the platform was taken too high, and it just was not enough to get a feathered flake. It hit, and then all of a sudden, boom, stopped dead in its tracks and hinged up. Kind of what's happening over here too. And I don't know exactly how this happened. I didn't do this, but you can see, if you look at the top of the stone, you can see the flake, for whatever reason, probably during the spalling process, just stopped, just cut short, boom, no more, ran out of energy. Let's see if there's anything else. This is kind of an ugly looking stone, but that's okay. So then we go over to this piece of stone here, which I think I'm going to actually try and work today. And you can see, again, I didn't spall these, so I don't know if these are just a couple of hinges that stacked on each other because they are pretty sharp, or if this was just a step fracture during the spalling process, because when you're spalling, you're using much heavier, usually a hammer, or a really large billet. So you could actually get a step fracture that has these nice, clean, hinge-like appearances, because it's the same mechanics, the same thing happening. Yeah. So I hope that helps explain a little bit about hinges and step fractures. If you have any questions, go ahead and just post them in the comments. And again, I'll link my other video to this video as well. You might find something useful in there that I left out in this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon in the next video. Paleo Greenbird signing out.